welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura. I am in my craft room. I just put my tripod in a different spot. So I went to a sewing class and I wanted to learn how to make two different items, and the first thing was a TN like wallet insert type thing, and then the other thing was to make a book sleeve. So I brought my two things that I bought from Etsy. I brought it to the sewing class, and then the sewing teacher helped me make one that is kind of similar. And yeah, I also brought the ones that I attempted to make on my own, and they came out really horrible, and I wanted to show the sewing teacher my creation, and hopefully she was able to help me make two good products. So okay, so the first thing I want to share with you is I wanted to take my sewing machine out and I wanted to make a TN. I keep seeing them. I know that I have sewing skills from the past. Before the kids were born, I used to quilt. So my sewing machine was in the closet collecting dust for like 13-14 years. So I finally took my sewing machine out and I was attempted to make something, and when I went to turn it on, it kept jamming. So it was broken, but I was so attempted to make this thing that I wound up making it by hand. So the first thing that I made by hand is this wallet insert because I really love the fabric, and here it is. I made this by hand. I actually put a zipper on it, and I made this by hand because my sewing machine kept jamming. So it does fit credit cards in these slots, but the hand job of doing this is really, really bad. Like, I need improvement. Look at that. I showed that to my teacher. I'm like, I need help. But if my sewing machine was fixed, I would be able to do it. So $170 later, my sewing machine was fixed and I was able to make something better than this. So I attempted to make another item by hand, and this one I made out of felt, and this is how it turned out. My stitching is really bad as well. It's been a while since I hand stitched anything, so yeah, it just folds this way and it has a pocket to put things in here. So that's what I attempted. This fabric here was very hard. It's like felt, but it's very hard, and it's hard to get the needle through it. So yeah, so I made that, and yeah, not that great, but oh well. Then I got my sewing machine back and I made three products with my sewing machine. So this one is felt with the sewing machine. It came out a lot better. Here it is, and I love this owl fabric. Again, it is very stiff. It's felt that I got at Hobby Lobby. And I used my sewing machine, so the stitches are so nice because the sewing machine did it for me. And again, it has the pocket. So this came out really cool. It wraps around anything. You could either do it this way, where you wrap it and have the insert, or you could do it wrapped around the book that way. So you have pockets to put your stickers or anything in. So yeah, that was kind of quick and easy to make. And I think I made this in either pocket size or A6. So yeah, I really like how this one came out. So that's that one. Then I made one out of fabric, doing the same type of technique, which I still need to improve on. And this one was made out of fabric, but I love the fabric that I chose for this. I wanted this to use in my tea house A6 thing. And again, I did this before my sewing class, so yes, I need improvement in the edges. So yes, yeah, and here is the same thing, and I think this time I sewed down the center, so the pocket opens like that. Yes, and it also wraps around the book, which is really nice, and it fits in your TN. So now the next thing that I want to share with you is I've seen lots of places, and I actually ordered one online from Etsy. They're making these TNs that are wrapped around the books that are made out of these bags that you get from different stores. Here, I'll show you what I mean about a bag. These bags are like this. They're sold, this one I got at Walmart. I think I got it for $2 or $1. It's a reusable shopping bag, and they're cutting these up and they're making TNs out of them. So yeah, so I got this. I figured I can make this for 4th of July, great for next summer or whatever. So I got this bag, and I got a few other bags that I wanted to attempt to make. So I tried to make an A5, which is a huge one, and I made one out of a Hope bag, and I really love the bag that I use, but my stitching is really bad, and this is how I brought it to my sewing teacher. I said, please help me. So here you go. This is my A5 attempt, and yeah, I really love the bag that I use. It's pink from Hope, and yeah, so my stitching, what I'm talking about is my stitching that goes all the way around. I need to work on my binding. So this does have a pocket. I did make a pocket there. So I did this on my own at home, and I was like, oh, I can't do this. And then on the other side it says Hope. So I really like this. It's made out of the bag that I just kind of showed you. I think I paid $1.99 or $1 for the bag, and I cut it up and made this thing. So I showed this to her, and I was like, please help me. Anyway, so now I have one that I bought from Etsy. So this is not one that I attempted to make. So this one I bought from Etsy. I will put the link to her shop below. I actually have another one coming that hasn't come yet. I ordered another one, and I don't know if it's lost in the mail. So anyway, this is the one I brought to her, and I said, this is what I want to make, and yes. So this is what I brought to her. This is an A6 size. It has the zipper. This I bought off at Etsy. Inside it has pockets. So there is a pocket here and a pockets here for the credit cards, and it has it on this side and then on the other side as well, or you can put stickers or whatever pockets. So I bought this off at Etsy. As again, I will put the link to the shop below. I think, I don't remember the name of it, but I will put the link where I bought this below. It's from Australia, and I bought this. So this is what I made. I made this. So exactly the same size as this. I made one myself using a bag that I really liked. And this is what mine came out to look like. So yes, she taught me how to put the zipper in. She taught me how to do the binding all the way around, and she taught me how to make the pockets. My pockets are here. And yes, so it came out exactly like the one that I bought. So I'm really happy, and I used the bag for the binding. This is the binding from the bag. So people are asking me, how do you do this? I am not a teacher, but I will explain the best I can how I made this. So, okay, so I take the bag, and this is what I have left over of the bag. So here is all my pieces from the bag that I had. And what I did was I took the binding off with a seam ripper. So here is the binding that was wrapped around the bag. So to show you the other bag. Okay, so here is the bag. And what I did was I used the seam ripper, and I seamed ripped this all off. And this is what you get once you take it off. You have this big binding long piece that you can use resew on. So that's what I used on my thing. Okay, so the next step that she did with me was she made a template. And each piece, she looked at the product and she made a template out of regular paper. Yes, this is regular paper. So she made me a template for each piece. So if you look at this, oops, I dropped it. Okay, so you look at this and you make a template out of this. And what she did was she made a top one, which is the top piece, which would be this, and she traced it. And it says actually top of outside. And then she made the outside, which is this. And I traced it, and then I put it on the back of the bag, and I traced it with pencil and cut it out. So now I have two pieces that I sewed together. So you're gonna put the zipper in with the two pieces. So you cut out the two pieces of fabric, you're gonna put the zipper in the middle and sew it across. So now I have the part of the zipper. So then she made an outside, which is the whole outside. She just traced it, and I traced it on the outside. And then the lower pocket, which is this one here, the lower pocket wraps around this. So she made a template that wraps around from here to around to here. So that's what she made for the next piece. And then she also made the second piece, which is smaller. So there's another piece. So what she did was you take this and you fold it so you have another template. So you need one piece that's this big, you need one piece that's this big, and you cut out two pieces like that. And then you sew them down the middle. So see how the middle here? So you would sew in the middle to make a pocket. Yes. And then you would wrap it around the piece here. And then you would take the binding thing. What did I do with it? I think I dropped it on the floor. Here it is. You take the binding thing that you took off the bag and you pin baste it and go all the way around the thing. So now my bag had two different fabrics, which was really cool. So I was able to use the inside of the bag. Now if I look at this is the original bag. If you look at the bags, they are made with one design, and if you open the bag, the side has a different design. So that's how I got the yellow. So this one would be a red one if I wanted to use two different fabrics. And as you can see, just making this little thing, the bag that I used is huge. You can definitely get, this is my leftovers, you can definitely get a lot, maybe two out of it because of the binding, but I have so much more left over that I can make another one. Look at this. That's a lot of fabric left over. So yes, so I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry, I'm not very good of a teacher, but that's how I did it, and I hope to make another one, especially using my red bag, and hopefully I will find a purple bag somewhere. But that was a lot of fun making this little thing, little project, and I will definitely be improving, because there was some errors that I did do during sewing class. Like over here, I smudged it a little bit. So it did come out really nice, except for that little thing. But yeah, and I love putting the zipper in. Okay, so the other project that I was making. So I brought this thing I bought these two things on Etsy, and I'm going to share with you what they are. So I wanted to learn how to do book jackets. I bought two online, and they are for mass paperback and regular paperbacks, I guess. So they are very tiny, and I wanted to make one for my hardbacks. So these are the two that I got. I got a Harry Potter one, and I got this one really cute dog and bicycles, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was really cute. So these are very tiny, but they do fit. A mass paperback will fit in there, so I'll share how it fits. And that fits nicely in there. It does fit a regular paperback. I'm just using any book that I have up here that I grabbed. And it does fit in here. Put it upside down, but if I can get it in. Okay. It does fit in there. See? Okay. But it does not fit hardbacks. It is too small for the hardback. So I wanted to make a hardback one, and here is my hardback. This is the book I'm currently reading, and yes, it goes behind it and hides, but it does not fit inside. It just doesn't fit. I tried, it does not fit. I'm going to try it again, but it's not wide enough to fit my hardback in there. So yeah, so I wanted something big enough to put my hardback in and carry it around. So I showed her this, and I made this, which is really cool. I made it out of Harry Potter fabric that I got at Walmart, and the inside is Harry Potter. It says Harry Potter on it. There you go, see, Harry Potter. Okay, so I made this, and I really, really enjoy what I made because it does fit my paperback. So I'm sorry, my hardback. So here we go. Here's my hardback from the library. This is the book I'm currently reading. It fits in there, and it is nice and snug, and I can put this in my pocketbook, and my book doesn't get damaged or anything. So it fits nicely in there. So this is what I learned how to make, and it was pretty easy to make. So okay, in order to make this, I'm gonna try to explain it the best I can. I cut out 2 pieces of the white fabric, 8.5 by 11, and then I cut out 2 pieces of the black fabric, 8.5 by 11, and then I cut out 2 pieces of filling that you use in a quilt, and I also cut that out 8.5 by 11. And then what she did, this is the hard part because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to recreate it. I did write notes down, but I sewed 2 pieces of white fabric faced together. So if you see this, the other one will be faced together. And I sewed this side, and then I flipped it inside out. Then I sewed the same thing with the black fabric. I did face together, and then I sewed this side, and then flipped it inside out. And this is where it gets tricky because now I have to put the insert inside, and I really don't know how to explain it to you guys because I did write it in my notes, but I don't know how exactly I did it. So here's my notebook that I had with me. So I inserted the fabric thing, the cloth, I don't even know what it's called, the stuff that you put inside a quilt. I put it inside the book, and I sewed the right side and the left side the same way I did that, the top and the two fabrics. And then I sewed I put the batting inside, and I sewed across the bottom, and then I flipped it inside out and sewed again. I sewed again the bottom, and then she told me how to do She told me how to do the pinch thing on the bottom. So you pinch it and you sew across. It's really hard to explain because one side I did really well, and the other side I didn't do very well, but it does make it so it sits. So yeah. So that's it. Oh, and then I also sewed across 1 inch down. You have have to close it up and sew it an inch down. So yeah, very complicated to explain how to do it. So I'm hoping to make another one. I don't know when soon because school is starting, so I don't know. But yeah, so this is what I made, and I'm glad that I made it, and I need to take more classes. So yeah. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Sorry I couldn't explain so well and do a demonstration because I wasn't going to make another one. So at this moment. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in another video. Bye. So the inside thing was I used a warm and white cotton batting, and I got this at Walmart, I think, and this is what it looks like. And it is like just the cotton batting that you put inside a quilt, so it's very thin, and that's what I use for the padding in the inside of the Harry Potter book cover thing. Yes.